The curse of Akhenet's tomb. The oppressive heat of the Egyptian desert was unrelenting, even as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a fiery glow over the dunes. A caravan of researchers and treasure hunters pressed on, their excitement palpable. At the center of the group was Dr. Evelyn Carter, a world-renowned archaeologist whose obsession with uncovering the secrets of the ancient pharaohs had brought her to this desolate place. Her ultimate prize? The fabled tomb of Akhenet the Cursed, a pharaoh erased from official records but whispered about in hushed tones by locals. "You're sure this is it?" Evelyn asked, her voice taut with anticipation as she studied the crumbling map in her hand. Beside her, Omar, a seasoned Egyptian guide, hesitated. "The villagers refuse to come near this place," he said, glancing nervously at the horizon. "They say the tomb is cursed, and those who enter will never see the light of day again." Evelyn's lips curled into a faint smile. "Curses are just stories to keep treasure hunters away. Let's proceed." The team set up camp near the site, the air thick with tension and excitement. By the time the moon cast its silvery light over the sands, they had uncovered the tomb's entrance, sealed by a massive stone slab etched with ancient hieroglyphs. Evelyn's heart raced as she deciphered the warning. "Here lies Akhenet, keeper of shadows. Disturb his rest, and you shall awaken his wrath, eternal and unrelenting." Asterisk. "Chilling," said James, the team's financier and amateur historian, as he lit a cigar. "But hardly convincing. Let's open it." With considerable effort and modern tools, the slab was moved, revealing a yawning darkness that seemed to breathe cold air into the hot desert night. One by one, they descended into the tomb, their flashlights piercing the inky blackness. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings depicting Akhenet's reign, his rise to power, his battles, and his forbidden rituals to cheat death. The air grew heavier with each step. They reached the burial chamber, an expansive room dominated by an ornate sarcophagus. Golden artifacts littered the space, gleaming with an otherworldly light. Evelyn approached the sarcophagus, her hands trembling as she traced the hieroglyphs carved into its surface. "This is it," she whispered. "The find of the century." James, overcome with greed, reached for a golden idol perched on a pedestal. Omar shouted, "No, don't touch anything," but it was too late. The moment James's hand closed around the idol, the chamber seemed to groan, the air vibrating with an unnatural hum. The torches flickered, and a deep, guttural voice echoed through the tomb, speaking in a language none of them understood. The lid of the sarcophagus began to move on its own, sliding aside with a grinding sound that reverberated through their bones. From within emerged a figure shrouded in ancient linens, its hollow eyes glowing with a malevolent green light. The mummy of Akhenet had awakened. The chamber erupted into chaos. The torches extinguished, plunging them into near-total darkness. Evelyn's flashlight trembled in her grip as she stumbled back. The mummy moved with unnatural speed, its bony hand seizing James by the throat. His screams were cut short as his body crumpled to the ground, lifeless. "Run!" Omar yelled, pulling Evelyn toward the exit. The group scrambled through the twisting corridors, the sound of Akhenet's footsteps echoing behind them. Each turn seemed to stretch endlessly, the tomb's layout shifting as if it were alive, trapping them in a labyrinth of stone. One by one, the group fell to the mummy's wrath. A piercing scream echoed as one of the researchers was dragged into the shadows, her flashlight clattering to the ground. Another was impaled by a spear that shot out from a hidden trap. Evelyn and Omar were the last remaining, their breath ragged as they stumbled into a smaller chamber. A dead end. "There must be another way out," Evelyn cried, frantically searching the walls. But the only thing in the room was an ancient altar with a weathered scroll atop it. Omar's eyes widened. "That's the scroll of binding," he said. "Legends say it can banish Akhenet, but it requires a sacrifice." The ground shook as the mummy approached, its glowing eyes fixed on them. Evelyn grabbed the scroll, her fingers trembling as she read the incantation aloud. The words burned her throat, and a searing pain shot through her chest. Akhenet paused, his form wavering as the power of the scroll took hold. But the final line stopped Evelyn cold. To seal the shadow, a soul must be given. Asterisk. Omar stepped forward without hesitation. Do it, he said, his voice steady. I'll hold him off. No, Evelyn protested, but Omar pushed her back. The world needs you to tell the story, he said. Go. As Akhenet lunged, Omar tackled him, the two disappearing into the green glow. Evelyn screamed the final words of the incantation, and the room exploded with light. When she opened her eyes, the mummy and Omar were gone, and the tomb was silent. Evelyn stumbled out into the desert, clutching the scroll. She was the sole survivor, burdened with a tale no one would believe and haunted by the sacrifice that had saved her. But as she looked back at the tomb, now sealed once more, she swore she could still hear Akhenet's laughter carried on the wind, a chilling reminder that some curses never truly die.